remember how that music used to make me smile. Well, I knew if I had the chance that I'd try to make those people dance so they'd be happy for a while. But February made me shiver with every paper I deliver. Bad news on the doorstep, I couldn't take just one more step. Well, I can't remember if I cried when I read about his widowed bride. Something touched me deep inside. Sorry, I messed that up. The day the music died. And he does something like, oh, bye, bye, Miss American Pie. Drove my Chevy to the levee was dry. Oh, good old boys are drinking whiskey and rye, thinking this will be the day that I die. This will be the day that I die. Alright, here we go. American Pie by Don McLean. Once again, I thank you guys for joining me. It's awesome. I really appreciate the support. And I love to play, and I love playing by ear and keeping myself sharp by playing new songs by ear. This song, I remember it growing up, but I never played it, never knew the chords, so I just learned it. If you guys like any of my videos or you get anything out of them, please like, subscribe, or share, and just tell someone else about it. That's I should have started this a long time ago, but again, never too late, I guess. This song is 8 minutes and 33 seconds long. It's a long song. It has 6 verses. This song, as great as it is, I guess the story is that when Don McLean started playing it on the guitar and they started writing it the first couple weeks, it didn't sound right. He's like, man, something's just not right. And Paul Griffin, they brought Paul Griffin in, who was a pianist, and he just like was listening to what Don was playing on the guitar, and he just started like adding stuff like that, you know, and doing the chords on the piano. Somehow they loved it, and that's how the whole piano thing came in. As always, I'm going to break the song down in parts, and I broke it down in 4. The song is long, or 5. I'm sorry, 5 is the ending. So there's really no intro. Part 1 is the first part of the verse. So part 1, I'm going to show you that the G, D over F sharp, E minor, A minor. I'll be happy for a while. And then that's part 1. Part 2, I'm going to say, is that February made me shiver, the E minor and A minor. He does real dramatically, and I'll show you the way he does. He's just using octave tricks, and again, we'll get into all that after I show you guys chords if you're a beginner, but he's basically just being dramatic. It's just an E minor and an A minor. That's all he's doing, and all that stuff, that bouncing around he does on the D chord, that's all he's doing is figuring, and we'll get into, I'll show you guys all that. So part 2 is, but February made me shiver. E minor, A minor, E minor, A minor. And then bad news on the doorstep. I couldn't take just one more step. That's part 2. Part 3 is the bye, Miss American Pie. Drove the Chevy to the levee. Levee was dry. That's part 3. Okay, part 4 is the chords through verses 2 through 5. Again, it's a long song, and then the 6th verse is the same format as part 1 I showed you. So the second verse does like I just learned that, I don't even really know the lyrics to the song, but I'm going to show you guys the chords to verses 2 through 5. It does like a different format than verse 1. And then it does a lot of things the same, but it's very different. So that's part 4. And part 5, of course, is the ending. I always like to show you guys how they end the song. It just wouldn't be complete. So they just go real light, and they do the whole Bye Bye American Pie, and then drove the Chevy to the levee till the levee was dry, singing this will be the day that I die. And he does something like that. So that's the ending. I'll show you how they end. So all right, let's do this. Part 1 is the G, F sharp, E minor, a long, long time ago, A minor, C, and then E minor, D, and then D sus4, D sus2,
he doesn't do the song the same too. Sometimes he goes G, D over F sharp, E minor here, and sometimes he does it low, sometimes he does it higher, so he's really messing with it a lot, but it's the same chords. And that's why we stress chords. If you know the chord, you could play the song any way you want it. Just like Paul Griffin played it, you could play it any way you want. Okay, so right from the beginning, it's a long, long time ago, G, D over F sharp, E minor. I remember how the music, that's an A minor, how the music C used to make me, E minor, smile, D, and the D sus4, D sus2. And then the same thing. I knew if I had the chance, G, F, D over F sharp, E minor, I'd try to make those people dance. But now it goes A minor, C, and then E minor, C, D. And then February made me shiver. All it is E minor and A minor, but he's being dramatic and going. So that's part one. We just covered part one. Now we're into part two. February made me shiver. And he does he's just rolling it. That's all he's doing. That's an E chord. That's an E minor. That's a full octave E with the E with two E's. So that's a 4-chord full octave E minor. February made me shiver. Same thing with the A minor, but he's going lighter and he's going higher on the A minor. So it's and then bad news on the doorstep is a C, a G over B, and an A minor. Bad news on the doorstep I couldn't take. That's a C. Just one more step, and that's a D. And you could do that whole thing if you want, but that's a D. And then it goes, well, I can't remember if I cried when I read about his widowed bride. Something touched me deep inside. G, D over F sharp, E minor. Those same 3 chords when it walks down. And then the next time it goes, the day the music died. So something touched me deep inside. G, D over F sharp, E minor, and then C, D, and then G. And that's when it goes. Okay, part 3 is Bye, Bye, Miss American Pie. This is the chorus. So those chords in the chorus are 3 times it goes G, C, G, D. And you could do it any way you want. You could go C, G, C, D. You could go G, C, G, D. You could do it any way you want, as long as the chords are right. So he goes, bye, bye, Miss American Pie. Drove my Chevy to the levee. C, G, C, G, D, 3 times. E minor, this will be the day that I die. A7, and then E minor, this will be the day that I die. A D, and sometimes they do a D7. And then it does something like. So it's a D7, sus2, and sus4. So a D7, you're adding that C. So because the song is so long, I'm not going to do verses 2 through 5. I'm just going to show you the chords to it. Because I listened to it, and it basically goes, I don't even know the words. G, A minor, C, A minor, E, D, and then it goes A minor 7, C, E minor, A7, and then D. And then the instead of E minor to A minor, it goes E minor to D. Then it goes E minor. Then it goes C, G over B, A minor, C, D7, and then G, D over F sharp, E minor, A minor, C. And again, guys, I apologize. You're going to have to play this back because I don't even know if I have the timing right on the second verse. I don't even know how it goes. I just know G, D over F sharp, E minor, and then C, D7, and then that. Oh, bye, bye. So it does that at the very end of that the second verse. And again, verses 2 through 5 are the same, so we'll call that part 4. And then the sixth verse is the same, has the same chords as part 1. So it goes real light again with the long time ago, but it has different lyrics. Same chords. Same chords as the first verse. And then part 5 is the ending. So the ending, they basically just go, so bye, bye, Miss American Pie. Drove my Chevy to the levee was dry. Them good old boys are drinking whiskey and rye, singing, this will be the day that I die. And the end of the song on the G chord. That is it, guys. American Pie by Don McLean. You guys have an awesome night, and I will see you guys in the next one. See ya.